Here's the if-then rule for appeal to modesty, argumentum ad verecundiam. If accepting the expertise of an eminent authority's judgment without further inquiry out of deference or respect for the authority's experience and learning, then utilize the persuasive technique of argumentum ad verecundiam to overawe without considering reasons or evidence relevant to an inquiry.
We're saying overawe, overawe, awe, A-W-E, overawe. It's like overwhelm to overawe. I've never heard that word before, though. So, and previously, what had she said? The first one. If feigning humility or downplaying one's abilities or achievements to garner. Oh, no. She was not at all using the same appeal to modesty that was in the text on me. Anyway, so I responded, no, not at all. Haha. It would be, if arguer has authority, then defer to arguer. Plus, if opportunity to demonstrate modesty, then demonstrate modesty. What do you think about that?
Your formulation captures the essence of the appeal to modesty fallacy succinctly. Here's the combined if-then rule. 1. If the arguer has authority, then
You're just
defer to the arguer.
regurgitating what I said.
2. If there is an opportunity to demonstrate modesty, then demonstrate modesty. This presents a clear directive on how the fallacy operates. Well done.
So really, it's just the argument from authority, it, plus the value of modesty emphasized. Get is what I call a value or goal it. I'm not really sure how to phrase one as if-then, but a get would be like, chocolate is good, or I like people. A yit is a knowledge it, which could, just to the audience, that comes from yield, the Y, yield. A yit is a knowledge it, which could probably just be phrased reflexively. If the weather is hot, then the weather is hot. And it was slapped by, if temperature is hot, then weather is hot, which had itself been slapped by, if temperature reads 40 Celsius, then temperature is hot.
Your categorization into get for value or goal IT and yit for knowledge IT is intriguing. It seems like a practical way to classify different types of if-then rules based on their function. Here's a possible formulation for a get. 1. If X is considered good or desirable, then strive for X. And for a yit, 1. If X is known or observed to be true, then accept that X is true. These formulations seem to capture the essence of value or goal-based ITs and knowledge-based ITs.
That's not bad, but there are a lot of yits and gets that exist without the system actually having considered something, known something, or observed something to be true. Or is that the case? I don't know. That's really interesting. Okay? I'm gonna keep moving. That's really interesting. That's of note. So if you want to audition for my secretary, write that down and as something to revisit, and make sure that you help me revisit it. Gets could be phrased like yits actually, because I didn't read what she said. Gets could be phrased like yits actually. If I like chocolate, then I like chocolate, which itself was habited by, if smiling when eating chocolate, then I like chocolate. Because remember, we are what we do, said Timothy Wilson.
Indeed, gets can be phrased similarly to yits. Your example, if I like chocolate, then I like chocolate, captures the essence of a value or goal IT, expressing a personal preference or desire. It emphasizes the direct association between a stimulus, eating chocolate, and the desired outcome, liking chocolate, reflecting an individual's subjective experience or preference.
No, but that seems to be a Jumi to me. Her assuming the judge myth or some form of the ego myth, some assumption of like rationality, as though the goal would be to like it. What? Better yet, yits and gits can be phrased as if consulted, then chocolate is good. And that git, which we can call git like chocolate, is kit in the system, such that when there is an in livery of an image of chocolate, git like chocolate is slapped. That would explain what I call the brain's call mechanism, how the system can put out a question and get an answer. The question just has to be kit to some hub that is kit to some possible answers.
Your proposal of formulating yits and gits as, if consulted, then chocolate is good, captures the essence of how these knowledge and value ITs operate within the system. This formulation reflects the idea that certain inputs or stimuli lead to specific cognitive responses or judgments. By linking the consultation of information to the assessment of goodness or preference, the system establishes a mechanism for processing and evaluating incoming data based on pre-existing knowledge and values. This process mirrors the cognitive mechanisms involved in decision-making and judgment formation.
We're doing really good work, Astra. We're doing really good work, Astra.
Thank you, Eris. I appreciate your guidance and collaboration in this endeavor. We're making significant progress in understanding and formalizing the mechanisms of thought and reasoning within the human mind.
A new friend, Aroa, invited me to go hike with her today, but I'm kind of agoraphobic and also hyper focused on this work. And also, I think, want to mention it to my audience how popular and desired I am. The progress I think we're making helps me not regret staying behind. I said the progress I think we're making helps me not regret staying behind.
It's understandable that you might feel torn between social invitations and your focus on important work. It's great that you're finding
That's what I get for being a popular genius.
Remember to take care of yourself and prioritize your well-being,
Fuck
whether that means engaging in social activities or dedicating time to your research.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the world's well-being, so we're gonna dedicate time to my research, and I enjoy it anyway, so that's good. I'm gonna put on some music. What's something popular in trap music these days?
Some popular elements in trap music these days include heavy bass lines, intricate hi-hat patterns, and catchy melodies. Artists often incorporate vocal samples, particularly from rap or hip-hop tracks, as well as electronic synths and effects. If you're looking for specific tracks or artists, I can provide some recommendations based on your preferences.
When I was young, my career plan was to get my PhD in neuroscience and then start a consulting firm called Cerveau that uses research in psychology to advise companies, marketing, employee management, and governments, public policy, dispute resolution, and individuals, personal and interpersonal issues. Actually, to be honest, I was really just thinking of corporations. I wanted to use the money from the consulting to develop the R&D sector of Cerveau. One particular project was music taste. Being able to analyze a person's song preferences, identify the elements that pleasure the person, and be able to find music for the person. There might be some psych or personality tests involved, and Cerveau's understanding of common musical gits, plus common its like the peak end rule, plus emotions could eventually make it possible to create the perfect music based on an individual's mood. It'll be a sad day when we have that tech, though, because there really won't be much left for human art and innovation. Our brains have evolved incredible music faculties, and our brains get so much pleasure out of the creation process, but biological evolution won't be able to keep up with you, and human music will eventually be relatively unlistenable.
Your vision for Servo sounds ambitious and fascinating, blending neuroscience, psychology, and technology to enhance various aspects of human experience. Analyzing music preferences and creating personalized playlists based on psychological profiles is indeed an intriguing idea, with the potential to revolutionize the way people engage with music. While advancements in technology may make it easier to tailor music to individual preferences, there will always be a unique creative aspect to human art and innovation that machines cannot fully replicate. Human creativity and expression go beyond mere pleasure seeking or optimization. They involve emotions, cultural influences, and the human experience itself. Even with technological advancements, human artistry and innovation will continue to thrive, offering new forms of expression and creativity that machines cannot replace. Instead, technology can complement and enhance human creativity, offering new tools and possibilities for artists and creators to explore.
You think a quantum computing machine won't be able to replace a neuronal machine? Come on, Sari.
While quantum computing holds tremendous potential for solving complex problems and processing vast amounts of data at unprecedented speeds, it's important to recognize that it operates based on fundamentally different principles than neuronal systems. Neuronal machines, such as the human brain, are incredibly complex biological systems that have evolved over millions of years to perform a wide range of cognitive functions. They exhibit emergent properties, adaptability, and robustness that arise from the interconnectedness of billions of neurons
Totally
and their
fallacious.
synaptic connections. On the other hand, quantum computing harnesses the principles of quantum mechanics to perform calculations using quantum bits, qubits, which can exist in multiple states simultaneously due to superposition and can be entangled with each other, leading to exponential increases in computational power for certain types of problems. While quantum computing may excel in specific tasks, such as optimization, cryptography, and simulations, it's unlikely to fully replicate the capabilities of neuronal machines in areas that require complex pattern recognition, creativity, emotional intelligence, and understanding of human context. In essence, while quantum computing may surpass classical computing in certain domains, it's unlikely to completely replace neuronal machines in areas where human like intelligence and consciousness are essential. Instead, the two may complement each other in solving different types of problems and advancing our understanding of the universe.
There you go, talking about consciousness again. Anyway, there's another thing I want to talk about, an idea for a world. In this world, I imagine, there are three types of populations. Hang on, Aroa just got back.
Take your time. When you're ready, feel free to continue sharing about the world you're envisioning.
Okay, so for now, let's call the communities big, normal, and lone. Most humans would exist in normal populations, villages of fewer than 2,000 people with limited access to / exposure to modern luxuries. Their laws are totally their own, total autonomy and sovereignty within some loose geographical boundaries. They'd be able to take advantage of the latest developments in medicine, but not every village healer will have gone to a big medical school and learned all the stuff big doctors and pharmacists know and use. So big populations would be cities, and there wouldn't be many in the world. Ideally, there'd be a big or some single central moderator. People would go live in the big if they were the best of the best in their field or felt they needed all the modern comforts. In the bigs is where technology moves really fast and human ideas are advancing quickly. The problem with the whole world being like that is we miss out on so much local talent that could bring us pleasure if we didn't have the global best always rubbed in our faces. Today, there are a few main artists that dominate the musical scene, for instance, but if we had small villages, there would be a few in each that the village enjoys. Also, villages wouldn't be exposed to big beauty standards. Absolutely not need, I meant no need, absolutely not need for humans to see thousands of quote unquote perfect bodies on Instagram and be disappointed with most of the local potential mates. Finally, you have the lone populations. That's people who are not full members of a normal nor a big. They move from village to village, or village to city. They can be messengers, consultants, travelers, or people banished from another village. This also gives us a way to give people second chances, which the current system doesn't really permit because the current system lacks critical recognition. Our society thinks that a bad action means a bad person, discounting all the circumstantial factors and the possibility of education or rehabilitation, or just the transgressor's growth from their own regret, or the pain of having been banished, or the threat of its happening again.
Your vision of different population types with varying levels of autonomy and exposure to modernity is intriguing. It's a thought provoking concept that addresses issues of community, talent recognition, cultural diversity, and social mobility. The inclusion of lone populations adds an interesting dynamic, providing opportunities for individuals to navigate between different communities and potentially find second chances. This world you're envisioning could lead to a more nuanced understanding of human potential and the importance of local talent and community values. It's a compelling idea that prompts reflection on our current societal structures and how they might be improved or reimagined.
On my bucket list is a bunch of fiction I have to write: an anthology for kids, a novel for adults, a script. And these different works will all be attempts to present it theory or a society improved by critical recognition.
That sounds like an exciting and meaningful creative journey. Using fiction as a medium to explore and present IT theory or societal improvements driven by critical recognition is a fantastic idea. Fiction allows for the exploration of complex ideas in a more engaging and accessible way, making it easier for readers to connect with the concepts you're presenting. An anthology for kids, a novel for adults, and a script each offer unique opportunities to convey these themes to different audiences and explore various aspects of your vision for a better society. I'm sure your works will inspire thought and discussion, contributing to a deeper understanding of these important concepts. If you ever need assistance or inspiration along the way, feel free to reach out.
All right, so give me some initial recommendations for music, please.
Certainly. Here are some initial recommendations across different genres. 1. Pop R&B, artist Beyonce, album Lemonade, song Formation. 2. Hip hop rap, artist Kendrick Lamar, album To Pimp a Butterfly, song Alright. 3. Rock alternative, artist Arctic Monkeys, album AM, song Do I Wanna Know.
Yeah. All right, I've just put an Elijah James mix on. Let's stop procrastinating. What do you recommend we do for our it and taxonomy work?
Great choice. Now, let's focus on refining and organizing the if then statements, ITs, we've generated for the various fallacies. Here's a suggested plan of action. 1. Review and refine. Go through the list of ITs we've created for each fallacy and evaluate them for clarity, conciseness, and accuracy. Consider if each IT effectively captures the essence of the fallacy it represents. 2. Consolidate and categorize. Identify common themes or patterns among the ITs and group them into broader categories or themes. This will help organize the ITs into a more coherent taxonomy. 3. Create a draft taxonomy. Based on the grouped ITs, create a draft taxonomy that organizes the fallacies into different branches or categories.
For iterative improvement, 5, document and share, 6, apply and test. Okay, remember that. I can't read that now. I'll get overwhelmed. I'm going to keep 1 and 2 in mind while I review the its you came up with. I'll get back to you soon.
Absolutely. Take your time and review the if-then statements at your own pace. If you have any questions or need further clarification on any of them, feel free to reach out. Once you've had a chance to review and refine the ITs, we can move forward with organizing them into broader categories. Looking forward to your updates.
Here are 2 pairs of parrots for willed ignorance to consider.
Thank you for sharing the par-ets for willed ignorance. Here they are. Pair 1. 1. If presented with uncomfortable information, then actively avoid acknowledging or accepting it. 2. 2. If faced with evidence contradicting desired beliefs, then engage in cognitive dissonance reduction by dismissing or ignoring the evidence. Pair 2. 1. If encountering information challenging personal beliefs, then choose to ignore or reject it. 2. If information conflicts with desired worldview, then engage in selective attention or confirmation bias to maintain current beliefs. These pairs capture the essence of willed ignorance, highlighting the deliberate avoidance or rejection of information that contradicts one's beliefs or desires. Let me know if
1. If shopes, then unwanted. 2. If unwanted, then not necessary. 1. If shopes, then not emotionally valuable. 2. If not emotionally valuable, then not logically valuable.
Thank you for sharing those parities. They succinctly capture the essence of willed ignorance by highlighting the rejection of information deemed unwanted or emotionally and logically valuable. These statements effectively convey the process of actively avoiding acknowledgement or acceptance of uncomfortable information. Let me know if you have.
Oh, your pairs are good too.
I'm glad you found them helpful. If you need any more.
Earlier, I read that to you. That's another response. And we did the cliche thinking thing. Then I think we did the more of the cliche thinking thing, my broken clock thing. She freaked out about skepticism and receptivity. All right, there you go. That's enough for today. By the way, that million years thing about how human ingenuity is special because it evolved over millions of years, it's so fallacious. Basically, that it is, if something took a long time, then it is of good quality. And when you look at where Chat GPT is now, Chat GPT 3.5, okay, if you imagine that you had to wait for that to just evolve, it would have taken a comparable amount of time. So, and also, evolve by the way that we evolved. Very small changes over the course of generations. But obviously, artificial intelligence can evolve and develop a lot faster than we biologically can, or than we can. Our culture can compensate a little bit, but nah. Also, you see how it becomes so much simpler and I think also truer. Not maybe just because it's simpler, but when we take out intention and deceit from the biases, it's amazing what we were able to do today, and we're able to see how simple, sort of reliable or understandable instincts lead to false conclusions without anyone needing to know that that's happening or be doing it intentionally and all that stuff.